If you saw the movie, the latest Top Gun movie, eerily enough, this is that plot kind of coming to fruition in real life.
The U.S. attack on 3 Iranian nuclear sites. This morning, we're getting a look at some of the damage done over the weekend. Aerial images you see there showing impact on the surface. U.S. forces around the region and authorities at home are on alert for potential retaliation from Iran, warning its military will decide the timing, nature, and scale of its response.
I like dealing with taboo subjects, you know that, because I think the audience is already tense, and I like going there. I like talking about things that some people are worried about or whatever. And I don't think they feel alienated because I'm often on their side. I'm often creating an outside enemy to them as well, you know, like oppression or cancel culture or you know, bosses, the filthy rich. So it's like us against them, I suppose, and I try and be one of them.
This is a plan that took months and weeks of positioning and preparation so that we could be ready when the President of the United States called.
The Speaker of the House, who is from your own party, has really rejected this. He says the Article 1 power of Congress really allows for the president to do this. It was a limited, necessary, targeted strike, he says.
Well, he's probably referring to the War Powers Act of 1973, but that's been misinterpreted. There was no imminent threat to the United States, which was what would authorize that. And I think that's peculiar to hear that from the Speaker of the House. Look, Congress was on vacation last week when all this was happening.
You haven't been briefed on any of the
We
details.
haven't been briefed. They should have called us all back. And frankly, we should have debated this War Powers resolution that Ro Khanna and I offered instead of staying on vacation and doing fundraisers and saying, oh, well, the president's got this under control. We're going to cede our constitutional authority.
What has all this been about if it does not destroy the nuclear material? Of course, what Israeli Channel 13 means is that the only way that you can destroy Iran's nuclear industry is by person, boots on the ground. And that is only possible if you have regime change. They've even appointed the new head of state, that fella in Los Angeles, who's never been in Iran since he was a child. He's the new head of state. And just to throw some sand in the face, there's going to be a Sunni Muslim prime minister. They've got the terrorist group, MK. They've got the Renta mob, Kurdish factions, ready to march on Tehran, but they cannot muster the 1 million strong army that they would require.
Yeah, so what we're looking at here is we're being told this is, I think, anywhere from just shy of 200 to 300 feet in depth. There are all kind of reports out there of 1,000 foot, but I think that's more propaganda. So what you end up doing is if you saw the movie, the latest Top Gun movie, eerily enough, this is that plot kind of coming to fruition in real life. It's not just one bomb. It'll be a bomb after a bomb to get through that penetration.
And just lastly, that's what you're talking about. Can penetrate up to 200 feet below the surface. And then, of course, we'll see it try and put the second one in there and go down in there. Yeah. Let's bring in David Burke, our Top Gun and former Top Gun instructor, retired U.S. Marine Corps officer. Now, David, I don't know how well we did that, but you know this better than anybody. Talk to us about, questions over whether or not this can successfully be done.
He said a lot of shit I don't understand. And if I don't understand it, you don't understand it.
I've got a queue of names I can give you. 80 countries long. 80 countries long that the United States has invaded since the end of World War II. Invaded or subverted by way of proxy armies or assisted in the terrorist overthrow, mass murder, assassination, and other means to alter the course of the trajectory of those countries struggling to be free. So Israel can't be blamed for those, you see. It's not Israel that overthrew President Salvador Allende in Chile in 1973. It's not Israel that murdered millions of people in Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos in the 1960s and 70s. It wasn't Israel that launched the Korean War. The United States has been a malignant empire since the end of the Second World War. And I could go back. There are only actually 6 years, in the hundreds of years since the American Declaration of Independence in 1776, that America has not been involved in a foreign war.
Just sort of be honest, really. So I think some people are worried about being too sincere in case they're criticised. They don't want someone to go, oh, God, oh, God, how soppy.
Because the goal is not to completely subjugate Afghanistan. The goal is to use Afghanistan to wash money out of the tax bases of the United States, out of the tax bases of European countries, through Afghanistan and back into the hands of a transnational security elite. That is the goal, i.e. the goal is to have an endless war, not a successful war.
No, it's not Israel that's controlling it. It's the people who support Israel that are controlling it. And the people who support Israel are both of the sides of the Uni Party. It's in the American empire's interest to support Israel. And they ruthlessly enforce it in the ways that you've just been talking. Iran committed 2 great sins, and none of them have anything to do with nuclear. After all, when the Shah wanted to go nuclear, the American company Westinghouse successfully bid for the project to build the nuclear plants in Iran. The 2 big sins of Iran are, first of all, they are the only state, Yemen being a partial state, and others being liberation movements, resistance movements. Iran is the only state that took action to defend the Palestinian people in Gaza and to contest the absolute domination of Israel in the region. That's its number 1 sin. Its number 2 sin is that it is an indispensable linchpin in the new world that is being born. Russia, China, Iran, the Belt and Road Initiative, the North-South Corridor, the means of breaking free from hundreds of years of Western hegemony require as a hinge a free, sovereign and independent Iran.
You don't need a formal conspiracy when interests converge. These people went to the same universities and fraternities. They're on the same boards of directors. They're in the same country clubs. They have like interests. They don't need to call a meeting. They know what's good for them, and they're getting it.
I was too close to that one. I had to... shouldn't do that one live. They're called Midlake. Check them out. They're really good. Right. Worst DJ ever. Right, look. This chair's creaking. It's old. This chair, right? It's really old, right? And it's all broken. One arm's broken. And the reason I can't get rid of it is because Pickle sleeps on it in the day. She sort of spends the morning. She's got loads of little places, but she's sort of here, sort of 9 to 11:30. So that's why I've got a creaky chair with a broken arm. Oh, I've got a bad arm, and I'm still around. Right, I've got loads of questions. I've got bad eyesight as well, though, so if I have to look, I've got to read the questions. could get glasses, couldn't I? It's light with me though. I can see perfectly if it's bright enough. But if the light fails, like if I'm playing tennis and the light isn't great, I find it hard. I don't know what that means. Is that normal? Any opticians out there? Like I've got perfect eyesight if it's really bright all the time. Is that a thing? I might have more rods than cones or less, I don't know, bluffing. I know one's for sort of sharpness and light and one's for colour. Like some animals, they can't see colour but they can see shapes and stuff better than us. And in the dark. What's the best thing about being a famous comedian? What's the worst thing? On an average day, how many people recognise you or stop you for selfies? Do you ever have a whole day without being recognised? Well, where I live, where I walk around, no one really. They sort of see me all the time, and I walk fast as well. And I've got a little baseball cap on and sunglasses, and they see me too late. They just think, "Who's that tramp? Who's that tramp shuffling along?" Oh, that was Ricky Gervais. It's too late. When I go somewhere else where people obviously don't usually see me, I get stopped now and again. And when people know I'm going to be somewhere, like, I don't know, a red carpet or outside a gig. But no, I don't get... I mean, I suppose I get recognised all the time, but no one bothers me. As I say, I think I'm not that sort of... I don't know, I don't go around in a fast, open-top car. I shuffle along like a little homeless person. What's the best thing about being a famous comedian? Well, doing what I want, I suppose. I think the bigger you are, the more you can say what you want. I think we're coming out of it now, but there's been a good few years of ordinary people not being able to say what they want. And some, actors and comedians and artists get in trouble, but I suppose I'm at the stage where I can ignore it and still do and say what I want. So that's good. I mean, free speech is amazing anyway, isn't it? But to have such a platform, that's good. Travel, I like travelling. I can't get over the fact that I can sell out arenas around the world. That is the biggest buzz for me ever, I think. Because that's rare. I think the best thing about last tour was breaking the record at the Hollywood Bowl. So I'm very, very chuffed. I'm chuffed that I'm be able to do that, and I'm chuffed at the rarity of it. So yeah, that's the worst thing. What's the worst thing? Well, people are always after you, aren't they? I think comedians, I think people are threatened by comedians. I've always said this, like, politicians can stand up and say the most awful things and mean it, whereas a comedian says something and he doesn't mean it, and it almost gets more grief. Like, people are more annoyed that you joke about terrible things than say terrible things and actually mean them. I don't know why that is. Maybe they're jealous that we have such a platform and we can say things that some people are scared. I don't know why, but I think that's the worst thing. Just people concerned all the time about what you've got to say. Yeah. But apart from that, it's all good. It's great. It's the best job in the world. So no complaints from me. And if I have got a complaint, I make a joke about it. So yeah, the days are gone now where I do a serious tweet or do a serious interview, because it's all bad faith. It's horrible. I try not to do any interviews, particularly press now, because they've always got an angle. You're there for different reasons. I'm there to plug a thing. They're there to catch me out or show me up or cause controversy or clickbait. you know, even a great interview. Sometimes the copy editor I do a controversial, you know, headline, and it just sort of ruins it. So that's great having your own platform like this. So I want. I'm usually talking to dogs. I'm not sure I'm making the most of my global platform. Maybe I should be running for office. But no, I'm here answering fucking questions from dogs and cats. That's how I use my platform, on a shitty chair that's creaking with a frozen shoulder. But you know me, I don't complain. So it's great. But one day, yeah, we'll be lovely. You know, when we're a $1 billion company, I'll do a Super Bowl ad. It'll still be just me in the bath swearing, but they'll bleep it. Or maybe I could make up words. I can go, "This is fucking brilliant, you cuns. C-U-N-D, you cuns. You'd be a right cunt not to fucking buy this drink, you twaps." So, and I don't think, what were they? They couldn't say anything about that, could they? Even those complaints. So I say fucking cunt. You fucking cunt. I was too close to that one. I have to. Shouldn't do that one live. Well, newsreaders, when they try and say Jeremy Hunt, they say Jeremy Cunt. So, yeah, no, I'd love to do some TV ads one day, and we will. I'm sure we will. If you buy Dutch Barn. Buy Dutch Barn so I can afford to make a shitty advert on telly calling people fucking cunts. That's worth it, isn't it? You spend 30 quid. Actually, I think it's 25 at Waitrose. It's all an advert, isn't it? It's like the worst infomercial in the world. Right. Sue. Love the new Dutch Barn billboard. That was fun. How much have you enjoyed making the adverts, and how lovely was it to see Auntie? Well, I think I've answered that, and it was great to see Auntie. For those who don't know, Auntie is the dog in Afterlife, who I worked with for like 4 years, and now she was 13 this week, and now she's an old lady, and she's all grey, a bit slower, a bit deafer, but just as lovely. And yeah, we were waiting to fill an advert. I'll put it out, and then she just suddenly remembered, and she started licking me. Yeah, she's lovely. All dogs are lovely. No Meat Pete. If you were to go on Celebrity Mastermind, what would your specialised subject be? Oh, my first thing, I think I might have answered something like this before. It's a tricky one. I mean, I know Celebrity Mastermind, they definitely make it easier. I've heard they even tell the people what books well, that might not be true, but it's easier than the real thing. And your specialised subject should be easy if you know it. I think something like something around David Bowie, maybe. It'd probably be music. It probably would be pop culture as opposed to anything academic. Because although if you choose something really academic, I think they make the questions a little bit easier. If you choose something like Faulty Towers, I think they might make them a little bit harder. But there's much less to research. So, I say Faulty Towers would be... I wouldn't do bad on Faulty Towers. Yeah, Faulty Towers, Bowie. Yeah, it would be very specific. My favourite Bowie songs. Gunner. Right. Okay. Can you explain to me what Thomas Nagel's theory, what is it like to be a bat? I think it was an essay. Interesting fact here, Gunner, who's a dog, by the way. That was my first assignment when I started philosophy at university. as you know, I went there to do biology, and after a few weeks, I just thought, it's 40 hours a week, this is really tough, biology. I love it, I still love it. But I just thought, I want to join a band. I don't want to study for 40 hours a week. You're joking. So I went along and did philosophy, and that was my first assignment. I had to do an essay on Nagel's essay, what it's like to be a bat. Right, okay. This might be bullshit, if I can remember it right. He's basically saying, if a human being gradually turned into a bat, they still wouldn't know what it was like to be a bat, because they hadn't had the lived experience of being born a bat and grow up a bat. All they would be able to experience was what it was like to what's the word? They'd have the experiences of being a bat then, but they wouldn't know what it was like to be a bat, to be born a bat, to be a real bat. I think it's always like on the same lines as Wittgenstein's lion. If a lion could speak English, you wouldn't be able to understand it, because its experience, it's being born a lion, and the things that they had to know and care about, they would mean nothing. The references wouldn't be the same. So that's it in a nutshell, I think. It's been a long time, you know, since I was a bat. Anyway, I don't know what score I got. I think it must have been all right. I went, yeah, carry on. Louise, I love your old anecdotes about pissing in the sink and attempting. Do you think, like, Kofi Annan gets letters like this? I love your old anecdotes about pissing in the sink and attempting to make a suit out of a pair of curtains. True stories are the best. I think there was one about shelves. Yeah, there was. Do you still do things like that now in the house which make Jane laugh or shake her head? No, I don't try anything now. No. I either leave it or we get someone to fix it, or Jane fix it. But I can't do anything like that. Not to do with DIY or anything, plumbing, electrical, anything like that. I'm too lazy, too incompetent, too scared. So we get someone to fix those. I do darn my own socks. I quite like that. It's nice. If I've got a favourite sock and it's got one little hole in it, I'm not going to throw two socks away because one's got a little hole in it. Darn it. Forget about it. There you go. Lovely new pair of socks. I still don't waste money. I do waste money. So yeah, the shelf story was, I wanted a shelf, right? I didn't understand. It was in our old flat. And so I got 3 bits of wood out of a skip and I just nailed them into a T shape and then sort of thought I could prop it up against the wall. But of course, it just went like that, where there was no... So what I did was I then put another nail one side, tied the string to it, pulled the string and tied it to another nail in the wall. So it was like some sort of fucking suspension bridge. And I did discover one thing. I don't know what it was. I must have seen it on a telly program that, like, lumps of wood out of the skip and bricks, they make lovely little shelves for like plants and stuff. I've made a few wood out of skip and brick shelves in my time. Nothing wrong with it. We got one of our sofas out of skip. It's fine. I don't do that anymore either now. If I see something in a skip, I leave it. I gotta leave that. Still got it. Keena, how's your frozen shoulder? Thanks for asking. And will you be doing gigs over the summer months? Yes. We'll try and see you in London. I will. I'm going to try and keep these going all the time, at least 1 or 2 a week. I'm loving it. My frozen shoulder, it's okay. It's not better. I've got better with it. Like, when it first happened, it's sort of really, really painful and sore. And I sort of take care of it, and I'm quite careful. And now I'm sleeping. For like 1 month, I couldn't sleep or I couldn't go either side. But now I've got better at it. So it's still a bit frozen. But I just think I just cope with it now for 6 months until it just better, and I've forgotten I even had it. That's what happened last time. But thanks for asking. And yes, I'm doing like trying to do 2 a week. I'm even going out of town a little bit more. I did what did I do? Crawley. And I'm going to do one in I think Christchurch soon, and somewhere else as well. I might do Watford. So I'm sort of, there'll still be sort of new material nights or work in progress. I've got a bit, they'll soon be called work in progress. Once I've got like the 50, 60 minutes mark, you don't call it new material, you call it what you work on that material. But it's nearly there. It was a good question. Jenna, how are the new material nights progressing? Also, do you keep all the notes you use at them as a memory of how the show begins? Well, yeah, I start off. Okay, so that's a good question. So these are the notes from Armageddon, right? That's how many I got through. Loads, right? What's this? Fuck borders, Vikings, raping, private jets, praying in disasters, China, dying child. The usual stuff for comedy. Public toilet, pedo, Michael Jackson, Chinese. So they're all the sort of notes I went through, and you go through those and you add to them and you hone them and you get them down to like, and these, right, these are the ones so far. I've got more so far with this one than my last one. So that's already all the stuff I've tried for this new one. So that's what happens. And then you sort of learn it. I sometimes have it on the thing in case I forget. But soon you don't look anymore, and soon you just do the hour. But I keep them just in case. Just in case. Sometimes I look back and I go, oh, that didn't make it in. I wonder why. Was it for time? Was it the wrong time? Did it not make sense? Did it not work in context? And sometimes you go back and you go, oh, that might work this time. And sometimes it does. Sometimes it doesn't. So, yes, they're going great. Doris, would you prefer... this is a human. Would you prefer to have fingers as long as your legs or legs as long as your fingers? So, right, okay. So, legs as long as my fingers. So, that's no legs at all, though, is it? That's just feet. That's just feet, though, isn't it? So, the choice is, would I rather look like E.T. or fingers as long as legs? So, like... that would be ridiculous, wouldn't it? That would be horrible. I like some sort of fucking spider. Yard-long fingers. That would be fucking horrible. That one gives me the creeps more than just fucking feet for legs. Well, on the face of it, that's got to be the better one, isn't it? I'm totally normal. And I've got really long fingers. You can't hide them though, can you? Well, if I make a fist, it would be like, oh God. It would be tough. I could put my hands in my pockets if I had really long, deep pockets. So I'm just standing there with my hands in my pockets, And people go, oh, look, it's Ricky Gervais, he's just totally normal. And I go, can I shake your hand? And I pull out these fucking things and go like that. Really horrible. Or, I've just feet where straight away I've just got feet where my hips are. Also, if I've just got feet, my will be dragging on the floor. I'm not sure about but my definitely longer than my fingers. Just fucking flapping along. Oh, here comes fucking knobby penguin. I don't know why I'm naked. What do I wear? Speedos, I suppose. That's the only things that would fit me, wouldn't it? Just Speedos to cover my arse and balls, and I'll probably hold them up the floor. Tight Speedos, so my balls didn't drag on the floor, and then just feet. I have to choose fingers then, because I don't think people I think that people would feel sorry for me if I just flapping along in Speedos like a fat naked penguin. I don't want that. So I choose the scary thing. I think I just go around frightening people like that, going, just big fucking long fingers like that. I keep breaking them, wouldn't I? I just keep breaking them. What can I do? What can I hold on anything? I've got to choose fingers. Again, there's no way George Clooney is giving that question that much care and attention as I just did. Not a chance. Dutch barn. Right. What a load of bollocks. I've got a question for you. This is Bella. Bella's back. Bella's a dog, by the way. I'm going to be 10 years old this year. Happy birthday, Bella. Is it too late for me to learn the guitar? You idiot. Oh, can an old dog really learn new tricks? You don't want to... You'd chew it, wouldn't you? No, what can you learn? You don't need to learn anything, Bella. You're brilliant. You do your zoomies. You collect your sticks. Be careful with sticks, though, because we know a lovely dog who loves sticks, and they got a splinter, and they had to go and have a little operation. So be careful with sticks. Be careful when you throw sticks for dogs as well, because they can sort of catch them and throw them. Also, you've got to be careful. There's a lot of sharp things. You can get sort of fake sticks. That's what I do. That's what we used to do in Afterlife. We had little fake sticks made. They're sort of like heavy foam, so they can't hurt the dog. I always worry about a dog when you throw sticks for a dog. Even your ball, you've got to be careful that it's not the size that they can choke on. That's where those strings are for, so you can pull it out. So be careful. So yeah, be careful with sticks, Bella. That's my advice. Right, that was the usual absolute bollocks. What did we learn there? We learned what it was like to be a bat. Dutch barn. I got loads of notes on shit. Starving children. Local pedo. Child addicted. Oh, that's a joke I didn't do. There's a joke I didn't do. That must be an early one from... That must be Armageddon. No, that might be Supernature. It was, it's clean underwear. It was when I was little. My mum always used to say, wear clean underwear every day in case you get run over. So I think I used to say things like, so one, she was more embarrassed that I'd had dirty underwear than her child had been run over. Also, if I knew I was going to get run over, I wouldn't go out. It's not like, in case you get run over, what do you mean in case I get run over? I'm not fucking going out. What, I might get run over with these underpants. I don't give a fuck about them. Also, if I got run over, the first thing I do is shit myself. Is that a bit? That might be a bit, mightn't it? Yeah, look, we workshopped a bit. Right, Another absolute load of twaddle. Cheers, everyone. Be nice to animals. Bye, Dutch Barn. Dutch Barn. Tatty bye. Tatty bye.
£8 billion sterling has been given by Keir Starmer to Zelensky since Starmer became Prime Minister not even a year ago. It's us and the French. Except it's not even us and the French. Those of you who know anything about French military prowess since the Napoleonic era know that the French army, well, to put it kindly, cannot be relied upon.
I say I can't complain because I always know there's people in much worse positions. I just couldn't bring myself to whine about it because it's obviously, even though it's been handled badly in some cases, it's you got to do it. You got to save lives.
So it looks like it's only us, except there's only 74,000 of us. That's the entire strength of the British Army, of which only half are frontline soldiers. The rest are hairdressers and auxiliaries and ambulance personnel and firefighters and clerks and typists. So we're down to a very small number of forces indeed, which is why I raised the hue and cry in the last few days over the imminence of conscription being returned to the United Kingdom. It could not be otherwise, because Starmer said he was going to send 30,000 British soldiers to act as so-called peacekeepers in the western part, presumably, of Ukraine, except that would leave us with fewer than 15,000 soldiers left in the entire country, in the entire world. They'd have to take the guards off Buckingham Palace and the Palace of Westminster in order to make a deployment of that size. And so it is axiomatic that any madcap foreign adventure expeditionary force like Starmer announced at the weekend he was going to form would require your sons and daughters to be conscripted to perchance die for Keir Starmer in a charge of the Light Brigade.
I saw a great thing. I don't know if it's a famous quote or not, but it was something like, we're not all in the same boat, we're in the same storm. Some people are in yachts, some people are in rowboats, and some people are drowning. And I think that sums it up. That, you know, I just feel there's people who really had it tough. So I won't whinge.
Long after everyone doing the pledging is dead, even after their children are long dead, we're going to be giving the Ukrainian state £4 billion a year. But the cost of taking away the cold weather payments for our mothers and fathers, grandfathers and grandmothers in a bitter British winter was half of $4 billion, $2 billion. So we made a conscious decision to freeze our old age pensioners, to give it to Zelensky to set fire to as many others as he possibly could. And if you think that the British public will put up with that in perpetuity, you have a lower opinion of the British public than I do. I predict the 100-year treaty will not survive the end of this Parliament. And in any case, no Parliament can bind its successor, and the successor Parliament ought to trash the whole thing, put it in the dustbin of history. Anybody who thinks in terms of 100 years or 1,000 years, anyone who thinks in terms of building a new Reich or a new empire in Europe, fading, failing, flailing Europe, is really lost the place. They are one flew over the cuckoo's nest. But it is remarkable, the kind of things that are happening.
Again, I don't whinge today because, you know, I know how hard it was then. I didn't even whinge then, really, because I was sort of protected. I didn't know I was poor till I was about 14 or 15. So I think that's what certainly taught me that money isn't the most important thing. As I said, growing up, all the best things were, I didn't have any money, but all the best things were free. Friends, comedy, nature, learning, all those things are free. That's amazing, isn't it? That's amazing. All those things are free. I never wanted fucking cars and jewellery. I just, so stay safe. Don't listen to idiots. Do what you want. Do what you know is right. And be nice to animals. Tatty bye, everyone. Tatty bye. Charlie Black Cat, Uncle Ricky, would you rather go to the moon or as deep as possible in the ocean? I don't want to do. I really don't want to do either. Obviously, I'm scared. Safety, pretty terrifying. Whatever, it would still be pretty experimental, wouldn't it? And both a long way from home and normality. I mean, I think the deepest bit is only like 7 miles, but has anything done it yet? Is there a submarine that's done it even? I mean, also, when you go, so you're 7 miles under the sea, it's dark, you can't see a thing, you got your lights, you're in a submarine or whatever it is. But that's no different really to being in a submarine in a field in Chiswick. Do you know what I mean? At least with the moon, you get out the spaceship and you walk around a bit and go, oh, moon. Oh look, third of the gravity. I can hop in slow motion. And that's not enough, is it? That's not enough to go, what are you going to the moon for? So I can sort of hop in slow motion? Do you know what? We could rig something up here. There's the risk is too much for the reward. Do you know what I mean? I'm willing to risk, like, getting on a plane is a bit of a risk, not much statistically, but like getting on a plane to LA to play the Hollywood Bowl, small risk, great reward. Going down in I'd freak out straight away. I got onto a submarine. I was at some show once in Reading, or Newbury or something. I don't know. I was a kid. I went on a submarine, walked around, didn't like it. Bit cramped. Also, I mean, it'd be the same going to the moon. I'll be thinking, is this spaceship going to work? I mean, the Wi-Fi goes down here. I can't use the remote control. That's it. I'm just floating around, just waiting for my oxygen to run out and my roast dinner in a tube of toothpaste. Yeah. No, it's not good. But in a submarine, I'd just be thinking all the time, there's some fat bloke in a boiler suit. Did he check the rivets? Am I going to be a news story? I didn't check the rivets. What happened? Got thousands of tons per square inch. Just him. Horrible. So, neither. Good question though. Thanks very much.
And destroy the country, run it into the ground. Who are they? Where do they come from?
Know that every day you live, every day is a bigger percentage of the rest of your life. So fill it with stuff. Just whatever makes you happy, I think, without hurting anyone, obviously. If you're a serial killer, don't do whatever makes you happy. Get some help. But if you're not hurting anyone, Do what makes you happy.
Every single thing has gotten worse.
Everything.
The crime has gotten worse. The NHS has gotten worse. The economy has gotten worse. There's nothing you can name. Public image has gotten worse. The military's gotten worse.
Education.
The education system's gotten worse. The judiciary's gotten worse. There's not a single institution inside of the UK that is not worse than it was 10 years ago. And for the last 14 years, Conservatives were in charge and did nothing. They let the little girls get... They did nothing. Now Labour's in charge. They are flailing and failing while sponsoring foreign wars and allowing old age pensioners to freeze to death. And Conservatives are trying to talk as if they are the answer to something. You have done nothing but fail your constituents for over a decade. The Conservatives are liars. Labour are liars. It is two sides of the same coin of uni-party, globalist, banking interest garbage. And for that reason, you need a man who is prepared to risk his life to save his country. And if you ask yourselves, Donald Trump is the man for the United States. He's the only man who publicly took endless heat, lawfare, and assassination attempts to do the right thing. Name another man with a British passport who has fought the Matrix as hard as we have, who has stood up as hard as we have, and shown that we will not bend, we will not break, and we will not be intimidated. My goal, once I'm in power, is to finally give the UK what it deserves, which is a country which is ruled by somebody who is not beholden to globalist interests, who's intending to destroy the nation to benefit the globalists, to extract her beauty, her value, and her wealth. I'm intending to do the absolute opposite.
I go for a walk every day just to meet dogs. It sets me up. It's like my heroin. If I talk about this in my stand-up, but if I've met 10 dogs, you know, some of which I know, and they run over to me and they're happy to see me, that's the day. That's the setup. That's like I've taken my pills. That's like my happy pills, playing with a dog in the morning. So do what you do whatever you like doing until you die. Don't, like, I play tennis once a week. It's my favourite thing. And obviously now I hurt for longer after tennis because I'm old and decrepit, but I refuse to not try my hardest still and play tennis, and I love it. And even when it gets to the point where I play tennis, I can hardly play, and I ache for a week until I play, I'll still play tennis. I play tennis in pain. I play tennis with a back strap on when I hurt my back. I've got a fucking thing on my elbow, tennis elbow, blisters, plasters. I've got a thing on my foot because whatever my bunion thing is. I will play tennis until I fucking die, because it's so much fun. I love it. So just because something's painful, there's no reason not to do it. Is that good advice? I think so. I don't know.
Watch this. Watch his face, right? Watch this. This is not right, right? Just watch this. Watch this. Watch. The f*** is going on here? What the f***? Look at it. Look at it. Look at it. Look at it. He is sweating. Either had a snort or something of that nature, but look at the state of that. For real. Look at it.
Me just watching him in his study for 6 months, he was going, and me shouting, fucking squared, you dopey. Also, if I can't get hurt, if I'm just like invisible in the corner and watching for us, he probably had a lot of breaks. So I'd just be there with my eyes shut for 3 minutes. Is he finished? Right, get on with it. Jay goes, where you been? I go, watching Elvis. Just go, what? You know what I mean?
No British Prime Minister has ever been by a Ukrainian male model. Never mind 3 from 3 Ukrainian male models. Now look, I spoke about this extensively the other night. I'm not going to rehearse it all, but it has to be explained because either Keir Starmer just had a run of really bad luck, that 3 Ukrainian male models allegedly firebombed 2 of his houses and 1 of his former cars.
The situation with Starmer has been very interesting, and it's not just what the media are saying, but what they're not saying. So three Ukrainian male models have been arrested for arson attacks on Keir Starmer's property. And they all had accounts on Grindr, interestingly enough, apparently, which have all been deleted. And there are obviously some questions about Keir Starmer's private life and his relationship with Lord Ali, who's openly. But what the media aren't hearing, and I saw a report on this, it was actually from Vasily Poroshkov, the whistleblower to me about from Ukraine, the former Ukrainian Secret Service agent. Yes. And he claims that the 3 Ukrainian rent boys were gathering information from senior politicians in the UK, and they were passing them to the Ukrainian dissident in Madrid, who was mysteriously assassinated 4 days after their arrest.
Oh, this is.
And he would have seen himself as a potential challenger at the next presidential elections in Ukraine.
I think the human brain wants to see patterns. We try and make sense of stuff. Even if we know it's sort of random and abstract, if we want, you can see things in clouds and stuff.
Some of those houses and the car in the same street that he used to live in. Now that can happen. It doesn't happen often, and it's never happened to a British Prime Minister before. But if it did just randomly occur, then he can count himself a very unlucky man indeed. On the other hand, if this is a conspiracy hatched in foreign lands against our Prime Minister, this is an attack on the United Kingdom. It's an act of terrorism of great moment, and we should be told if that is the case. If, on the other hand, all of this is the result of some personal imbroglio that the Prime Minister has gotten himself into with the alleged perpetrators, then we need to be told that also. Because if it's a terror attack, or if it is the result of a relationship or relationships gone bad, we need to know, because it goes to the heart of British governance. Now, Prime Minister's question time took place today at Westminster, and not a single MP had the guts to ask the obvious question. Prime Minister, have you ever met or have any personal relationship with any or all of the Ukrainian male models who stand accused, only accused, by the Metropolitan Police Anti-Terror Squad of having firebombed your properties? That is the question any parliament with guts would have required the Prime Minister to answer it. Now, he might have been able, if you'll forgive the pun, to put all that to bed in a sentence. He might have been able to say that I have never met, nor have I any knowledge of the 3 people under arrest for the alleged firebombing of my properties. But he never got the chance to give that answer and stop all this speculation, because nobody had the guts to ask him. And no media has the guts to ask him either.
No Meat Pete. That's apt, isn't it? Like, I've probably seen a stick that looks like a knob. I don't mean No Meat Pete's a knob. I mean, No Meat Pete. When I first heard that name, I thought it meant he didn't have a knob. No Meat Pete. But I think it means he's a vegetarian. See, I made a pattern in my mind. It made no sense to anyone else, but I made a pattern in my mind. Right, this is more bollocks than usual, I think.
We are now going to open our labour force again to free movement of European Union labour. That's the best part of 500 million workers who will have the opportunity to move here without our say and take up jobs as long as they are only 19 to 32 years old.
Right. No meat Pete. Vegetarian. He's got a penis.
But if the Prime Minister does know these people, then it may be that he has left himself vulnerable, in which case the British Parliament and the British people have a problem, because a Prime Minister that is vulnerable to blackmail or other such heinous acts is a liability to the country. Now, Keir Starmer is a liability on multiple counts, some of them even to do with Ukraine. His blank check to Volodymyr Zelensky is now spreading its ugly, bloodied hand into Western Europe. As we predicted here on the mother of all talk shows, it would. It certainly would. We said all of these weapons with which you are flooding a European country will come back in the hands of terrorists and criminals. And some of the weaponry would be used to kill our own citizens on our own streets. Well, a very important Ukrainian dissident was murdered in cold blood in Madrid this very afternoon. Another Ukrainian dissident of some importance has already had 2 assassination attempts on him in the same European capital of Madrid.
Can you become a grow bag? Is there something like they could just dump you in the ground and grow an oak out of you? That'd be good, wouldn't it? Grow bag. Where would they put the acorn as well? Not up the arse. Don't do that. If anyone's organising a funeral, right, just bury just the arse with an acorn in it. How fucking... See what I mean? Death isn't sad and dark and depressing. It's fun. Oh, God. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday, dear Ricky. Happy birthday to me. Don't get me anything. Just get yourself a bottle of Dutch Barn vodka. I'll make a few quid out of that anyway, so cheers. Hi, I'm Ricky Gervais, co-owner of Dutch Barn Vodka, and with me today, Dr. Patterson. Now, this is an advert, so you're not a real doctor.
No, I'm an actor.
Now, you like a drink, don't you?
Absolutely.
What do you drink?
Beer.
I think vodka is probably better than beer in terms of calories per unit of alcohol, although I doubt it'd make a dent in you. You're a fat because you eat too much, I'm assuming.
And no exercise.
You're a fat because you eat too much, right?
No exercise.
You're a fat because you eat too much. Fat. And I'm the co-owner of... Fucking can't look at him. Wait, right, okay. Could you tell us some of the dangers of alcohol?
Yeah, there's loads. High blood pressure.
Why do you eat and drink so much then?
I'm not sure. I like the taste of food.
Yeah. Everyone does. But you don't like being unhealthy and out of breath and sweaty and despised, do you?
No, I guess I've got no willpower and that depresses me, so I just eat and drink way more than I should.
Yeah. So you suffer from mental health as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't want to get up in the morning, face the world. What would you do, though?
I don't know.
Shush, everyone.
I just...
Go running.
Hi, I'm Ricky Gervais, and I'm the co-owner of Dutch Barn Vodka. Oh, I can't. It's fucking really brought a downer.
You asked, huh?
Yeah, I know. Oh, God. Gotta try and be funny now. Fucking Fatty Arbuckle about to tell me.
God, the heck?
Hi, I'm Ricky Gervais, co-owner of Dutch Barn Vodka, and with me today, Dr. Patterson. Now, this is an advert, so you're not a real doctor.
No, I'm an actor.
Like George Clooney in ER.
I guess.
So, Doctor,
Actor.
can you tell us some of the dangers of alcohol?
Well, there's loads, from high blood pressure, heart disease, stroke, liver disease, weakening the immune system, digestive problems, depression, and accidents.
Dutch Barn.